Alright, we have Trig lesson 3.2, graphs of functions. And then we're getting a rap battle with an elf. Okay, so graphing functions is just y equals f of x. And what that means is f of x and y, they're interchangeable. Okay, if you see y equals something or f of x equals something, they're basically the same thing. Vertical line tests. When you graph a function, you draw a vertical line, and that's the one that goes up and down for those of you that don't remember. But if the vertical line touches the graph at 2 or more spots, it's not a function. So you can just graph the line and figure out whether or not it's a function or not. Just by that, if the vertical line touches it once, then it is a function. Easiest way is to graph, just use a graphing calculator. You've done graphs in Algebra 1, you've done graphs in Trig, you've done them in Algebra 2. Alright, use the graphing calculator now. Seriously, just use the graphing calculator now. Wow. So example 1, to graph that, just sketch it. Pull out the graphing calculator and plug it in. Here's the points, right? If you plug them in, you can check. 1 gives you 0, 2 gives you 1, 5 gives you 2, 10 gives you 3. You can take a look. 1, 0 is right there. 2, 1 is right there. 5, 2... we get that over there, and 10, 3 is way out there, and we have it graphed. So there, I have it sketched. Find the domain. Oh, you can just do that right here, like we said before. Under root has to be greater than or equal to 0. So x has to be greater than or equal to 1. So we'd write that from 1 to infinity. And notice, it goes from 1 over to infinity. The range, on the other hand. To find the range, you use the y-axis. Only the y-axis. If it touches 0, then it will keep going up. Look, see? As it keeps going, it gradually keeps going up. So it goes, it touches 0, and it keeps going up. It's going to gradually get bigger and bigger. So it goes from 0 on up. And since it touches it, that's why it's from 0 to infinity. Once again, easiest way to graph. So, try graphing that. Sketch the graph. When we sketch the graph, we realize, hey, this is a circle. That's why I'm doing that. Squared both sides of the circle with the center at 0, 0 and radius at 3. So center at 0, 0. Right there. Radius at 3. And I only put the top because it's positive. So there's the top part. The domain of this, right, would be in between -3 and 3. Example 3, sketch this graph now. +3, 1, 2, 3, because it's the y-intercept. Right there, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and just plot the points. We did this in the last chapter too. Find the domain. Do you see any roots? No. No roots. See any negatives? Or any fractions? No. So what does that mean? Very simply put, all real numbers are going to work. Once again, by me showing you this, easiest way is to graph, which means please just graph using the graphing calculator.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious.
Right. Negative absolute value of x plus 2 plus 3. Okay. The vertex is -2, 3. It's the opposite of h and k. So the formula is h and k. So that means opposite is -2. Whatever's on the outside is your k, and that happens to be 3 there. So that's why it's -2 and 3. The negative out in front is the slope. So that means it's going down 1, right 1. So I find my vertex, which is -2, 3. So I plot the point. That means this goes down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Because it's an absolute value, it's going to be a v. So that means it goes down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. And there's your v. Okay? Absolute values are always v-shaped. Always v-shaped. That's the slope telling you which direction it's going. It's going down. The vertex is the opposite of the inside and the outside. Easiest way, however, is to graph using a graphing calculator, so keep that in mind again. So with this one, Just plugging in some points for you. Negative 3 squared will give you 5. Negative 2 squared will give you 0 if you plug it in. Negative 1 squared will give you 3. 0 squared will give you 4, and so on. So I plot those points. Negative 3, 5. Negative 2, 0. Negative 1, 3. 0, 4. 1, 3. 2, 0. 3, 5. And there's what you get. And it makes sense, because what is x squared minus 4? It would be a parabola going down like this and up. But it can't be negative, which means everything that's negative, which is this, we flipped up over the axis. That's all that it means. But once again, remember, the easiest way is to just graph using a graphing calculator. So, to graph that, I plugged in a negative 2, boop, 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 and when I plugged it all in, I got 3 as my answer. Plug in a negative 1 everywhere. Boop, 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 I got 3 again, so 3 goes in there. So it's negative 1, 3, right there. Plugged in 0, boop, 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 I got negative 1 as an answer, so 0, negative 1, right there. Plugged in a 1, boop, 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 and when I got out, I got a negative 3. Once again, this is all on the graphing calculator. When you need to plug any of this in, if you went to the table, you could see your points. But anyway, that's 1, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, right there. And plug in a 2, and you get a 3 right there. So over 2, up 3. If you look at the graph, it can help you. I know when you're looking at this, you're thinking, oh, straight line, connect the dots, la, 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 I'm done. No. Just graph it so you can see what it looks like. These points are just a guide so you can see how the graph is supposed to look. That's all that the points are there for. Is to help guide you. That's all. Okay?
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough,